It all started with Gay Muppets, and just went downhill from there. It seems that it was not too many years ago that a concerned parent group led a campaign to clear up the sexual preference of Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street, claiming that the two male puppets living in such close quarters and being such good friends could send the wrong type of message to children, as if Frank Oz and the now deceased Jim Henson were somehow trying to subliminally program children to be homosexual. This led to the Sesame Workshop having to publicly declare that they were not gay, say the puppets were puppets, so it was a silly question in the first place, and point out that their home on the show contained 2 beds, so obviously they weren't sleeping together. Of course, my grandparents room contained 2 beds my entire life, and they had 5 children, but I digress. Problem solved, right? The answer has been given. Wrong. The question is the problem, and it's a problem that no answer can solve. When parents are so inept that a group of them needs to rise up against a puppet show and claim that it could have possibly been the reason why their children are gay, then there's something seriously wrong with this nation, folks. Seemingly gay puppets don't make kids gay. But if you really want to discuss the sexuality of a Muppet, then consider this. Most of them have a hand rammed firmly up their ass the entire show, and they're all still smiling. So what does that tell you? Try explaining that to your kids. Oh, that's right. We don't explain things to our kids anymore. We just wait till they make choices that we disagree with and then blame pop culture. We tear down icons because we can't be bothered to raise our own children. Now Underdog is a pill-popping speed freak who promotes drug abuse. The Smurfs are communists. Popeye is a steroid abuser who teaches children to cheat. The Land Before Time is being called historically inaccurate because the Brontosaurus never existed. And Mark Twain is being banned from schools for being too historically accurate. You know, we hit the point where Dr. Phil is having Kermit the Frog on his show so he can get advice on how to rekindle the spark in his relationship with Miss Piggy. And I'm sitting there going, stop! Enough of this crap. I protest. I couldn't feel more molested if I was dressed as a Catholic choir boy. Parents lie to their children all the time if only to put off having to explain embarrassing things to their kids. And it's not that the kids would be embarrassed at all. It's that the parents would be. That's the point. So they don't want to say it. So they wait until something goes wrong. And then they take an icon or a popular concept, a seemingly innocent concept, and they corrupt it. They say it's dirty, and they blame it on that. They blame their own ineptitude as parents on my happy childhood memories. I'm a comedian, folks. I can find something dirty in absolutely anything you say. And anything a parent says, too. For instance, what if I were to tell you that you shouldn't tell your children that the stork brings babies? Because I think that promotes bestiality. Because it somehow implies that a large bird was involved in the events that led to this child's conception. So I think we should call the ASPCA anytime a parent tells their kids that story and then start a lawsuit against these parents for planting the roots of animal abuse in their child's small, tiny little brain. I mean, does that make it true? Because I said it? Because I turned it? No, it doesn't. It appears that the next 2 victims of this heinous trend are going to be Ronald McDonald and the Burger King. So the king is dead. They've axed him. They've gotten rid of him. And the clown, it looks like, is going down. Over the years, many lawsuits have been filed claiming that the 2 of these characters are creepy and scare children. Really? Children are frightened of clowns? You don't say. Wow, that's some deep shit there. Like, I couldn't have told that based on the large amount of crying at birthday parties when people are 6. And, wait, also, you're trying to tell me that a man with a ricked plastic grin and a head that is 2/3 the size of his entire body is creepy, especially when they show him in commercials sitting in a corner of a dark room holding food, staring at children as they sleep. No, that's not creepy at all. Thank you, Sigmund Freud. Thank you for that news flash. Really, I feel updated now. But here's the thing. They have both stood the test of time, regardless of the creep factor, and become pretty much the 2 most recognizable cultural icons to ever come out of the United States. I have been around the world. People in 3rd world countries that don't even know who Superman is still recognize fucking Ronald McDonald. Okay? And over the years, you know, I've built up a lot of memories. It might be sad to say, but a lot of fun memories that involved Burger King. When I was a kid, we had a Burger King right across the street from the little walk-up apartment that I lived in, and they did birthday parties. And on my birthday, I would love to go to Burger King, so I could tell them it was my birthday and get the little fake golden crown and run around to all my friends going, look at me, I'm the king, it's my birthday. I loved that shit, but it's no more. Okay, King is dead, long live the market share, right? And the clown is quite possibly in the same boat, although the lawsuit's claiming that Ronald McDonald is the creepiest thing since Tim Curry and Grease Paint saying, beep, beep, Gracie, have failed in the past. The new tactic might actually work. The current tactic is that they're pulling a Joe Camel. Now they're saying that a clown marketing Happy Meals with toys in them is technically marketing obesity to children. And this is the reason why their children are fat. It has nothing to do with the fact that they put the key in the ignition and drive their fucking kids to McDonald's 6 or 7 times a week because it is more convenient than actually cooking and they're too lazy to be parents. It's got nothing to do with that at all. One of the parents in the Concerned Parent Group from Sacramento that started this lawsuit actually turned around and said, well, you see, when McDonald's did the last Shrek movie, my children were so excited about collecting the full line of toys that they just kept harassing me to go to McDonald's over and over and over again. And of course, I said no. But then they started whining and it caused problems between us. And you don't understand, it's not one request, it's really a litany of requests. Yeah, that sounds like the fault of a man in clown makeup to me. It has nothing to do with a complete lack of parenting skills and the inability to tell your children to shut the fuck up. It's got nothing to do with that at all. That is the clown's fault. Damn you, McDonald's Corporation, your marketing is too effective. That's why my kids are fat. Let me tell you something. It's your mistake. You fed them crap food. You're angry. Own up to it. Make them do some sit-ups. Tell them to shut the hell up. The fact that you don't do this is why your children are fat. It's got nothing to do with Ronald McDonald. And see, here's the thing. If you're going to give in to every little whim of your children because they won't stop begging and whining, then, well, here's an example for you. If your children beg and whine constantly for you to buy them a crack rock, are you going to go out and do it just to shut them up and then try to sue the crack dealer when your kids are strung out or dead? Wait, actually, that might be a solution because at least they wouldn't be fat anymore. Discipline your children. Learn to say no. Stop lying to them. Take credit for your own mistakes and stop tearing apart my happy childhood memories. The only person who's allowed to make money off of ruining my childhood is Michael fucking Bay. Okay? It's that simple. I don't want to hear the rest of it. And you know what? I have a solution to the bullying and the obesity. It takes care of 2 birds with 1 stone. What we need to do is start a secret remedial physical training program for fat kids. Okay, and the program is going to be called Shut the Hell Up and Run. What you're going to do is you're going to get all the bullies, and you're going to have 2 or 3 bullies apiece chase the fatties around the schoolyard for a full period every day. And the bullies make the agreement that they're going to run just slow enough to not catch the fatties, but fast enough and shout loud enough where they don't want to stop for fear of their life. They agree not to actually beat them up, and if the fatty should fall over and pass out, they just leave his fat ass there and call the teacher. The way I see it, this would solve the problem of bullies getting into trouble because they'd be able to get in their daily dose of medicine mayhem without actually hurting anybody, and it would give children much needed physical exercise that their parents obviously aren't willing to force them to do. And the reason why they're not willing to force them to exercise is because if they try to show their kids how to stay in shape, it might actually involve them having to exercise themselves. Oh, we don't want to do that. So instead, we let video games teach our kids how to exercise. Isn't that great? The thing that made them fat is supposed to be the thing that's going to get them healthy. Well, guess what? We are not fit. We unfit. It's that simple.